Hey guys, in a previous video I showed y'all going to Rockwood, Tennessee and picking this car up. We've got it here in the shop. We actually got all four of the tires to hold air again. It was broke off the rims, but we got those aired back up. We have the battery charger on the battery. We got the shop vac and the trash bag here. What we're going to do today is try to clean this out from under the hood. The rats, mice, whatever have packed stuff all around the carburetor, all over the back of the motor, down the sides of the motor. I mean, it's just, we got to get all that out of there before we can try to start it, because the last thing we need is a fire. So that's what we're going to do first of all, is get everything cleaned out. Then we're going to see if we can actually get this to start and run. Let me just give you a view of the top and inside of this car, because it belonged to Nathan Miller. He has passed away a few years back, and the car just sat outside, and it's crazy how the whole roof of the car is just rotted plumb through and fell in. And I'm still undecided what we're going to do with the car just yet. But first things first, I want to get it started and running. And then we may, if it runs good enough, we may end up putting a top on this car and trying to save the car. View here all the way around. I actually had one idea. I'm just cutting the top off across through here and back there and making a 4-door convertible out of it. But it'd really be nice to put a top back on it. But I mean, it's going to have the whole top. This whole thing just, it's soft. Rusted down through here as well to there. But we can cut that out, put something else back in there if we get to that point. But I just thought I'd show you guys what we're starting with. We're going to go ahead and get started on that right now. Things first, I guess, get the trash bag started. Get this insulation stuff out from under here. Get the trash bag open. It is packed in there good and tight. And it's probably came up from under the hood up here, like what used to be like this piece and this piece. We took it from here and here, the mice, rats, whatever have, and just piled it on the motor, around the distributor, carburetor. Might even pull the mouse out with it. It may have the biggest hunks. I'm going to go with a shop vac now. Nope, we're still holding the manifold over here. What's on that side of the manifold? I'm going to start with the shop vac next. This side's not as bad. So we now have it all cleaned out under the hood, looking a lot better there. Got all the leaves and the insulation and the trash and the grass and the nuts and all that cleaned up out from under the hood. Now we'll see if we can get it to start. We're not getting no power to the ignition switch for some reason. So we're just going to hot wire it and see what we can do here. I'm going to go ahead and fill the carburetor up with gas. You got two holes on top of the carburetor, one here, one here. That goes directly down into the bowl. And when you fill those up, it fills the bowl of the carburetor up with fuel. So that's what we're doing first. Go ahead and get some gas in there. Squirt a little in. Now, we're getting no power to the ignition switch, so we're going to go ahead and hook this hot wire up to the hot side of the coil. It's got pushed back on for some reason. If there's enough room to make contact. Then we'll come over here, put it on the hot side of the battery. We should have sparks like we do. And then we'll cross this starter solenoid with a screwdriver. That's going to start right off the bat here. Let me go over here. Let me turn this battery charger up a little. Work this accelerator. Go ahead and cross her out. Sitting here running like a champ. Not been started in all these years. Walk around and see if we can see anything coming up the exhaust here. Can't really, I don't know where the exhaust is coming out, but it's not coming out the back of the car, but it is sitting here running. Now, like I said, I don't know what we're going to do. If we're going to put a top on this thing or what. If anybody out there has one of these cars that has a top on it they would sell, let me know, because I would really love to put this thing back together in remembrance of my good friend that passed away. But I'm going to need a complete top. I would even buy a whole parts car that had a top on it. The 71 LTD, but I think the top is going to be the same from the 71, 72. How about that? Next thing to do now is get the all this rust and roofage and insulation and whatever you want to call it out of the interior, so we can actually see if the thing will still take gear and run. Our next step will be to do that. Then actually, I'll give you all a little video of driving the car off the road here, and we'll go ahead and cut the rest of this old vinyl top and stuff off. So I'll walk y'all step by step through what we're doing with this car. But like I said, if anybody has one of these cars that has a roof on it they'd be interested in selling, or a whole car, please hit me up in the comments and let me know. So we're getting the vinyl top cut off of this thing. We're gonna pull the whole vinyl off, but look at the rust that you can just pick up by the handful that's laying the whole top of this car. What's left of the top of this car is nothing but rust. But we're gonna get this vinyl, see if we can get it cut and peeled. That's step one of getting the rest of this vinyl off here. I'm gonna get the vinyl off so we can see what we've got under there, and then we want to get the interior cleaned out. There's no sense in cleaning the interior until we get all this vinyl peeled off here and this rust from the top that's going to be falling in. I mean, it's just everything out of there is just piled. There's probably going to be a shop vac full of just rust that's coming out of this thing. Get back here and cut around. We'll try to cut around the LTD emblems. That's the whole top of the car moving. Down in there. Vinyl top at its finest. That's what happens when you have a vinyl top. Top gets a little tore, a little damaged, moisture gets under, and the moisture just stays there and eats the top plumb off the car. I mean, basically all we have is the outer structure of the car left. The whole entire top is gone. I mean, it's part of it's in the car, but there's pieces this size. That was the actual roof of the car right there. Got the vinyl peeled off. Let's pull this insulation out of here. Go ahead and cut what's left of this headliner out of here. Then we'll fire the shop back up. Suck all this old rust off. It's laying piled up on it. I'm just totally blown away. I've never seen a top eat up this bad. I mean, once we get all this old excess rust vacuumed up off here, it's gonna look like a car never had a roof skin put on it. It literally ate the whole entire roof skin off of this car. I've never in my life seen one in this condition from the vinyl top. I'm just blown away. This door don't open. Outside, we open this one. I have a trash bag. Let me get a trash bag. Let's put this over behind me. I got a trash bag here.
Hold on.
Pulling this vinyl. Right now, we're going to suck all this rust off from around the whole top of the car. Get that cleaned up. Then we're going to come back to the interior. Okay, we've got the top cleaned up the best we can with all the rust vacuumed off from around the top. It's looking a lot better. What we're going to do now is take these rods out. One of them's done fail. We're going to pull the headliner rods out. I'm going to lay those in the trunk. And then we're going to commence to cleaning all this stuff out of the seats, out of the floors. It's just a process of elimination. But next, we're going to get started on getting this done. Got some buckets here. We'll go ahead and just put the chunks of rust in the bucket. It's amazing how much handfuls and piles of rust are in here. Pull that liner rod. Piles and piles of rust. We have the seats cleaned out, all the stuff off of them. That looks much better already. Good view. So now we're fixing to pull these floor mats out of here and get all this stuff cleaned out of the floor. It is still nasty as water standing in it. So let's just go ahead and start with this front floor mat. Just fold it over this way. Got one of the pedals. Try to save all the trash and rust that we can into the floor mats. And they're soaking wet. Wow, boy, there's green vegetation growing in the floorboard right there. It's still standing full of water under the seat. We got the floor mats out of it, and there's water standing in the floors of this car, all up under the seats. So what we're going to do for right now is go ahead and shop back all this water up out from under here. Try to get the carpet as dry as we can for today. And then we'll have to come back, pull the seats out of it, and get the carpet out. It's just crazy. But right now, let's shop back the floors, See how much water we can get out of it and how clean we can get the carpet here as far as all the rust and the water and stuff out of it. Well, we now have it all vacuumed out. Looks a lot different than it did when we started. Next step, I went ahead and pulled the back seat as was vacuuming stuff out of there as well. But the next step, I'm going to go ahead and pull the seats, the seat belts, everything out of the floor, get all the carpet out of it, get it down to the metal floor itself. That will be for another day. We've come quite a long ways on it today from what it was when we started this morning. Still has a long way to go, but we'll take our time with it. Do it right. And I think I asked y'all once before, but I'm going to ask you again. Anybody that has one of these parts cars that they would sell that I can cut a roof off of. It's a quarter panel pieces. It's like this quarter panel right here as well. I'll have to cut. I need to step over here, come on, cut down around, back up, and weld this piece in right there. I need a piece for that. I need the whole entire roof and the rain gutter back here. Went ahead and cleaned the trunk out, vacuumed it all out, everything on it. Put the headliner rods back here in the trunk. But up through here, this lip is getting rusty as well. I'll need a donor car to cut that out of and weld back in this one. And I also need a trunk lid. This trunk lid here is not the right one. She kept the trunk lid off the car when I bought it because it had autographs of the Castle Dukes of Hazzard on it. And I got this trunk lid and just put on it for time being, just to keep stuff out of the trunk. But it's actually off of a Galaxy, and it don't fit right. It's a little longer here. So I'm actually needing a trunk lid as well. But I would buy a whole car if anybody has one they're willing to sell. It's a 1971 LTD. I think 72 is the same as well. Going to be a lot of work, but the car deserves it, just because Nathan was a real good friend of mine for years. He really loved this car. He's been passed on for several years now, and I'd like to put this car back together in his memory. So we're going to go ahead and call it a day. Car has changed considerably today. We'll come back, do other videos as we're progressing with it. And oh yeah, there's the breather. I found the breather in the car. Wing nut, everything was in there in the car, so we've got that set back on there for now. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. And like I said, we will come back, do update videos on it as we're progressing. But please, somebody, holler at me. Let me know you've got one of these cars you'd sell me for parts. Y'all have a great day.